What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be breaking down the number 2 class in the nation, Alabama. And one thing I kind of wanted to point out here to kind of get this thing rolling is the importance of stars in college football recruiting. And I bring that up because Alabama only brought in 3 3-stars. Now, when a 3-star gets offered by Alabama, obviously other schools take notice of that and they may think, okay, there's something special in this guy. But then you look at all the other people Alabama recruits, and obviously it's a lot of 5 stars, a lot of 4 stars. If there's a football program that makes a case study for stars mattering, it is Alabama. Because you look at all the talent they bring in and year out. And it's just a phenomenal job every year. I mean, Nick Saban is not just a master class of a coach, he's a great recruiter as well. And I know that's me stating the obvious, but I feel like every year we kind of sit back and we kind of ask ourselves, when is Alabama going to dip? And I think the obvious answer is when Nick Saban decides he wants to retire. And they lost the national championship this past year to Georgia. If there's a team that proves that they can just reload every year, no matter how much talent they lose, it's Alabama. I mean, Alabama historically has always reloaded year in and year out. And this recruiting class is definitely going to be a class that just comes right in and reloads right away. A lot of these players are going to be contributors right away. Some guys might have to work hard to win a starting job, especially this year, because Alabama did not lose as much talent this year as they have in years past. With that being said, kind of going through what they have this year in terms of players, they landed 5-star quarterback Ty Simpson. He was the number 2 quarterback in this class. You expect him to compete for the starting job whenever Bryce Young leaves. And then coming in the running back class, you got 2 really good running backs. Emmanuel Henderson, one of which I think can contribute right away. Obviously, it's going to be a really deep running back room with Trey Sanders and Jace McClellan back there. You also have to factor in Jahmyr Gibbs, the Georgia Tech transfer, the very flashy, dynamic running back. He's also going to play a factor in as well. So it is going to be interesting to see how Alabama navigates the running back room with these 2 guys coming in. At the wide receiver position, you got a really good group of guys coming in this year, along with another transfer in Jermaine Burton from Georgia. Alabama is very good at putting receivers in the league. I expect this receiving core to be just as elite as they were last year with Jamison Williams and John Mechie. And then at offensive line, you have a 6'5" tackle coming in with a 6'6" and another 6'6" offensive tackle. So in terms of winning up front, Alabama seems to be very dedicated in doing that, and I expect them to succeed with these 3 guys coming in. And kind of looking at defensive line and edge rushers, you have a very good, stellar group coming in this year. This is a very strong D-line group. I would put them easily up there with Georgia and A&M in that recruiting category. One of my favorites, and the name I would look out for, is Jihad Campbell. He actually flipped his commitment from Clemson to Alabama after the departure of Brent Venables. That was a huge pickup for Alabama. And then just looking at them as a unit, I mean, you have a lot of these guys that are going to contribute right away. And overall, as a defensive unit, I do expect Alabama to improve this next year. Not that they didn't have a good year this past year, but we definitely have seen them more dominant in years past than they were this past year. However, I think this group can definitely boost them up to a top 5 defense in the nation. The secondary for Alabama is going to get a lot of help this year with this class. They have 2 very good corners and a safety. Earl Little is someone I'm very high on. I think he can possibly be a day 1 contributor. If not day 1, definitely in his second season, I think Earl Little is going to play a major factor in the future for this Alabama secondary. That's a name I would look out for, coming out of a prestigious school of American heritage in Fort Lauderdale. And to top off the recruiting class, we have the 4 4-star athletes that they brought in. A lot of these guys are going to be flexed out to maybe different positions. A lot of them on special teams, return, so on and so forth. But summing up what Alabama has in terms of the future in this recruiting class, this is a very strong recruiting class. It's number 2 in the nation. I honestly do expect Alabama to win the SEC next year. And I expect a lot of the players in this class to absolutely have a contribution. I think overall Alabama is going to continue to trend up, and that will not change anytime soon. Regardless, this class is going to be very exciting to watch in the years to come.